Yo everyone, welcome in. Oh, my Streamlabs has gone a bit weird. Well, that might be why. That'll be right. That'll be right. Do 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 do. Need to log in on the old TikTok. However, I do that. How do I do that? How you doing, Ethan? Welcome in, bro. Hope you had a good day. Welcome in, life. Hello from Italy. What part of Italy are you from, man? Beautiful country. Beautiful. Yo, everyone. How you doing? Apologies. I did a whole PC reset and I didn't realize it logged me out of TikTok. So I'm just trying to re-log into TikTok so I can see the chat there as well. Hopefully everyone's doing well. Nova, good to see ya. Hope you had a good day. How's your day? How's your week been? It's been good. It's been busy. Truth be told, everyone, I've been working actually quite a lot on getting merch sorted. Two objects are the same. I am doing the two objects are the same. There we go. Yeah, I've been working quite a lot to get merch sorted. I don't know if it's going to work with TikTok. Let me just put my YouTube chat there. Sicily? I really want to visit Sicily. So basically, where like the merch is at, it's ready, but I'm sending myself like quite a few of the stuff before, just to, just double check the quality, etc. In terms of the products, it seems ready. So that's cool. I'm very excited for that, to be honest. Yo, how you doing, Jim? Hope you had a good day. Good to see you, man. How you doing, Olum? We love merch. I want to be in the races. Well, you're more than welcome to join. I'm also just trying to find how to log into my TikTok with the QR code on my phone. I don't... I'm so lost. I have a phone, but I act like I'm 80. Can I do it here? Oh, I can do it there. Oh! Cracking. There we go. Got my TikTok chat back again. How you doing, Gav? Welcome in, bro. Cool. Now that's sorted. Lovely jubbly. Apologies about that small delay, everyone. But yeah, I would love to visit Sicily and Italy. Looks like such a beautiful place. Maybe one of the most beautiful, to be honest. Maybe one of the most beautiful. The sudden realization. Look, I might be 26, but I'm not ultra clued on with technology these days. You're finally committed with NA? Who's NA? Is that like a... I presume it's a team. My day's been good. Found a good time. Yeah, I saw your story from last year. Earlier work was fun. Mega glad to hear. It was basically me stickering batch codes for the 2 hours solid. Sounds right. I do dislike the color pink now. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. That sounds cracking though. Do we get a sneak peek? You can. You can. Pretty decent looking at about 70%. Oh, mate, that's awesome. They changed like the marking system though, like a few years ago. So what does 70% translate to in terms of like A, B, C? You know what I mean? Like in the marks. That's so cool though, man. 70% sounds awesome. Looking forward to seeing the secret sauce, mate. The secret sauce is the key word of that session. Oh my god. What a word. What a word. Bosch, put that there. I think it should be an 8. Mate, congratulations. Good on you. Good on you, man. Doing good, thank you, bro. Hope you're doing good as well. What is this internal secret source law? Well, basically, I was doing a coaching session. If my mind doesn't deceive me, it was yesterday. I think it was. And I said the secret source of driving. I said secret source at least 7 times in an hour. Because we were speaking really a lot in detail about driving techniques. And I was like, yeah, the secret sauce is this. Like, so I just kept on saying it. I didn't even realize I was saying it until the end, to be honest. A guy who was on screen. Wait, I can't. Being clueless to your parents, mate. Honestly, I'm either like knowing everything about the technology I have. Okay, let me put it this way. If it's a performance related technology like my wheel, my pedals, like that kind of thing, I'm all over it. I'm on it like a car bonnet. But when it's something that isn't related to performance, I'm just clueless with it. I've got to pray for that twilight shift completes the boxes. I don't. Oh yeah, no, I feel for you on that. I feel for you on that. I was thinking Twilight is in the movie. Then I was like, hold up. Honestly, I don't really know what WOR stands for. World Online Racing, I think. It's game for the 1 hour Monday. Now you're down to a point from 9.1 to 8.6. Let's go, man. Good stuff. Good stuff. Happy to hear that it was helpful, man. That's awesome. That's absolutely awesome. Thanks for letting me know, man. Thanks for letting me know. Right. How do I join? Just like you normally would do any other lobby, to be honest. Well, we're not going to be starting a poll. No chance of that happening. Good evening. How you doing, Gabriel? Let's have some fun. Amen to that, brother. Good afternoon. How you doing, Hector? Welcome in, bro. Got some familiar names in here. What snacks do you have today for WR? I had some gingerbread, but that got destroyed about 20 minutes ago. So it didn't make it until the start of the stream. I don't know. I don't know. If I do get a bit peckish, I might make a small sandwich. Like I got some prosciutto, some mozzarella, some sun-dried tomatoes as well. So I might make that or brownie. Doing good, thank you, Harris. So you're doing good as well. I appreciate you, Hector. Glad that you liked it, man. How you doing, Matrix? Welcome in, bro. Right, let's get this show on the road. Making tortellini. Ah, bravissimo. Oh, I should say actually bravissima. Bravissima, actually. Bravissimo is for the male. Or I should say the masculine version. Bravissima is the feminine version. How you doing, buddy? Welcome in. How you doing? Again, apologies. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. How you doing, Kiwotsi 44? I probably butchered that, but bear with me. Do I redeem to waste your points. If you would like to waste your points, it's a very good way to redeem and waste your points. I would highly recommend it if you want to waste your points. Evening, how you doing, buddy? Let's all cheer. This guy is the greatest username ever on YouTube. I'm not a football fan. I just don't really watch it. But this geezer's called "Let's all cheer when Tottenham lose." Oh, that's brilliant. I guess he's an Arsenal fan. You're saving up for the push-up redeem? Damn. How far away are you from it? And I don't even know how much it's set to. That was ages ago. Well, you'll change it. Only 32k to go. Jesus Christ. How long is it going to take to get there? So I might just have to up it, like, whenever someone gets close to it, you know? You set it to 100k? Might need to be 1 million. Yo, how you doing, Alex? Welcome in, bro. I will take it easy in the first corner. Oh. How are they 3 wide off the track there? Man, my glove was so tight then. Jesus. I covered off the inside. I don't know when they introduced it, Nova, but I realized it a few weeks ago as well. Like, it is genuinely such a good feature. Oh, this guy's lagging a bit. Is this out the door? Oh no, you're welcome, man. Hopefully it was useful. Nice 2 for the price of 1 there. See if we can get Starstorm. Go over to switchback. Shaky. Well, that was going to be 2021 inverted then. Red Bull Mercedes. You're in. Lovely jubbly. How did that guy spin on the straight? How you doing, Noel? Welcome in, bro. Yo, Panda. Ah, you're welcome, man. That turned out to be some decent racing. I'm excited for WR. Proud of him, to be honest. I think it's going to be interesting to see. Well, and also my light is too bright. Like, I feel like I'm blinding myself at the moment. But we'll deal with that after this race. It'll be interesting to see how prepared each driver is, or each team is, for this race. I think this time you're going to see a bit more. What is the right word? Gap in performance between some drivers and some teams. Because I think teams, of course, will train for this race. It's just natural that they will, but... Of course, PSGL is done. So probably a lot of them are taking a small break before F1 Esports. You know, and just recovering a bit of energy. Yo, Victoria, my day was good, thank you. Hope you had a good day. So yeah, I think a lot of the drivers and teams will just be sort of, for lack of a better term, half committed. Of course, in the race they'll try to win it, but they probably haven't done massive amount of prep. When's F1 Esports start? Tomorrow? Nah, I don't. I can't say. Of course, I don't actually have any NDAs with any teams now. So, if I wanted, maybe I could. But I don't want it to be disrespectful to F1 Esports, you know. I think all the teams, all the drivers, in fact. Because if I just went out on a limb and started using it for my own advantage, to say it, to get clips on my stream or social medias, whatever, that's not very nice, you know what I mean? But when it is public, you'll know. And then when I can say, then I'll say. It was good as well. Lovely, glad to hear. Up to anything exciting? You're 40th, one if you're coachable. Ooh, I need to read your message above that on the straight. Give me a second, bro. How do you fit in people from Australia? I still do one-to-one, yeah. And the way basically I fit the schedule in is on the days that I'm available. It's on the website. You just see like a timing slot, and basically my open hours for coaching are from 9 a.m. This is UK time, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. So basically it's a 12-hour window. So basically it fits in people from around the world. You know what I mean? So even in Australia, you can do a session. And 40 if you wonder if you're coachable. Of course, anyone's coachable at any age. A lot of it depends on what you want to get out of it. Like, if you want, like, to learn about the game physics, have fun, of course. If you want to be, like, serious, try to reach F1 Esports, we can try. You know what I mean? So, for sure, everyone's coachable. Is there a reason why F1 Esports isn't announcing earlier when the event's going to happen? There is. And in the past few years, there's been fairly justifiable reasons. But again, it's not really from my position to say. I think I could clip farm it, you know, but it's not for me to say. Do you have a least favourite track? Yes, Bahrain! We get that one in the bin. You remember me? Brendon Leigh is my go. I do remember you, man. Yo, how you doing, Vibe? Just want to say the videos help me a lot. For all my league races, especially the quality era strat. Ah, mate. Appreciate the kind words, man. Happy to hear that the videos helped. Lovely jubbly. How you doing, XPO? Brendon, question. Because I'm trying to get better, do you... Yeah, F1 Esports drivers do have a training plan sort of integrated within the team that they drive with. It's probably like anywhere between let's say 4 to 8 hours a day, but ultimately that's when you're doing it full time. You know, when you're not doing it full time, as in maybe you're not at F1 Esports level yet or whatever, then of course it's a bit less. Yeah, I feel you on that one, Victoria. I get you on that. I mean, completely valid, Ben. I mean, if it's your opinion, then fairly valid, you know. But I'm not worried about esports. Okay, copy that. Copy that. Yeah, for sure we can cook that up. Hey man, glad to hear that you like the setups as well. Hey man. All good. Yeah, doing good, thank you, bro. Hope you're doing good as well. Let's see if you can get a seat today. Cook it up, man. Yeah, like it's a really valid thing you say. Between the performance between F1 and iRacing. Like, of course, they're different. You know, markets. They're different. Target markets. You know, F1 is not trying to be a sim. iRacing is. iRacing has the complete freedom of not needing to make something for console. I'm really interested to see how they perform with their IndyCar game next year. But yeah, I think it'll be good. I think it'll be good. I'll be really interested to see. I'll be very interested to see how they perform on console. iRacing, that is. Harris, at the moment, I don't add people in the game. Just mainly because chilling. No, I don't plan to do a sale, Mr. Media. For two reasons. Predominantly, the main reason though is, I feel bad if I suddenly spring like a sale. You know, if I suddenly pop on a sale, then I feel bad for the people who paid full price before. You know, because if I just randomly turn it up one day and be like, okay, well, 10% off for the next week, you know, the person who brought the setup the day before, I feel bad for. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's the main reason I don't do a sale, in all honesty. When is Black Friday? The 25th, I think? Something like that. Um, you think the F126 will be boring or fight? Because the F126 season won't be boring, but the first year of a new regulation cycle is always exciting. Like, even if the leader is dominating, it's always exciting for the rest of the podium, because you don't actually know who's going to be fast at what track, you know. So the first year is always good with a regulation cycle. Holy moly. That's a bit rude, isn't it, Leo? WOR is in 40 minutes, bro. Opinion on the Audi concept? This is a concept. I think it looks cool, but what is this guy's problem? Yeah, I think it looks cool, but like I say, at the end of the day, I'm aware a concept is just a concept, you know? By the time they have sponsors, by the time they have everything else, because a lot of the way it works within sponsorship is the sponsor will say, okay, well, we'll give you X amount of money, but this part of the car has to be certain color. Hence why, like, the mission went out with the Ferrari when it was green. Like, because that was just a sponsorship requirement. The same as the HP Blue. So yeah, we'll see. Like I say, the livery will change quite a lot. Just from sponsor requirements alone. Doing good, thank you, Luke. How are you doing good as well, bro? Hey, Carl, thanks for the GG, man. We'll say battery here. Those doors are so helpful. I appreciate it, man. Thank you. Come on, stay ghosted. Oh, we might have cooked the cheesiest overtake of overtake history. Oh, he's just hit me off straight away. What's all that about, Alex? Wasn't very nice. Who do you think will take the championship? I think Lando now. I think Lando, to lose the momentum he has to be a shocking Vegas, you know? What I don't think it'll be. I think McLaren might not be the fastest in Vegas, but to be honest, that also helps Lando. Because let's say McLaren finished P4, P5. As long as it isn't Max winning, then that's still very good for Lando. Because now it's just about minimizing the points gap that Oscar or Max can close up on. If Oscar or Max can't close the points gap by winning, automatically Lando's in a good place, you know? That DRS game's up ahead of me. How often do you update setups? I do about 2 a week, to be honest. Bit of shutdown speed, thank you very much. How you doing, Mikey? Shouldn't have pushed me wide. The website looks really cool. I appreciate you, bro. Thank you. Oh, we need to get a move on here to get back up to the lead. Would it work for someone who plays with assist? Yeah, of course! I was reading chat that should have been focused on the corner. But yeah, of course it will, bro. Appreciate you, Max Verstappen. I'm sure you're the real Max Verstappen, but I'm on the Ascher Ultimate wheel rim. Really like it. It's a really nice wheel rim. No chat under brakes. What a move by the Ferrari. Come on. Oh, a little bit of lag there. Final lap. Nice little swap back here. And again, nice little switchback. He's just going to play DRS games at the end of a lap anyway. I can feel it. I just know it happened. In a situation like this, no one actually wants to be the race leader. There we go. Told ya. Oh, that was such a bad curb usage. What even happened then? Oh, that's deep. We both went deep. There's no way. We somehow still got P2 out of that, though. Man, Krabs had the easiest overtake of his life. That was a typical case of, I'm not braking until you do. Through goes the Haas. Yeah, man. How you doing, Rafi? How you doing, bro? Whoa! Can't believe I bottled that. That is not the proudest moment of my life. What do you have to do when dirty air? What do you recommend? I mean, to be honest, a lot of dirty air is just surviving it, to be honest with you, mate. Like, the thing is with dirty air, it is, like I say, just surviving, trying to get through the situation, but ultimately just not overthinking it. Just drive the corner as fast as you can. And yeah, generally that's the best way. I think there are some techniques to help with dirty air. Thank you as well for the Love Hut Panda. But there are some ways to help deal with the dirty air, such as driving a little bit off the racing line, but ultimately just drive as fast as you can. Gonna make some food, be back soon. Lovely jubbly. Enjoy your tortellini. Can you join? Of course you can, man. How do you survive with Brendon Leigh charging towards you? I don't know. Ask Krabs. He won that race. Doing good. How you doing? Doing good as well, bro. Doing good. Do you think will change entirely? I mean, always the game will change when the physics model changes, but I don't think it will be. I don't think it will be, you know, massively different. I think, of course, the feeling of the car can change, but yeah. Again, I think a lot of people try to over prepare or over engineer getting ready for a new game. Like, I used to as well. Like, you used to sort of drive the new game, or you used to drive the end of the old game cycle a little bit differently. But to be honest, a car is a car, you know, grip is grip. It'll be what it'll be when we get there, you know? Yeah, I think that'll basically be the DRS button, Luke. I think it'll just be like that, yeah. Wherever you have that button mapped. Did they say it'll be any time you can activate it, or is it just in specific zones you can activate it? I'm doing good, thank you, Reese. How are you doing good as well, bro? I have too many setups saved. Especially when Qatar is the final one on the list. Thank you, Brendon. Looking forward to the coaching session. I'm off to do some practice. Lovely job, man. Looking forward to it as well. Enjoy your practice. Touch wood, it goes well for you, man. Right. Corner cut central is about to begin. What a legend. Okay, please may someone remind me to kick that McLaren up ahead of us. He just basically stormed into turn 1 and took out his own teammate. I have no idea how to pronounce that name, though. Hazmaz. I don't know. I probably butchered that. Oh, the cheekiest of the switchbacks. Got another one there as well. When is WR? In 30 minutes, yeah. How you doing, Adapts? Hope you're doing good, man. Saw you in someone else's Twitch chat the other day. Can't remember who it was. It might have been Lucas's. Are you no longer competing, or I decided to stop racing F1 Esports? What is going on? Man, why are you saving battery? You need a DRS, my geezer. Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, that's 2 warnings, I think. Not ideal. Gonna try and save battery here. Is this Crabs winning? Alright, it's time to lock in. Right. Now it's time to get revenge for the previous race. He's quick, you know. Wonder what his batch level is. Oh, but he is higher on battery than me. Ah, we were closing. Just, but not enough. Not enough time. Not enough battery. GG. Fair play. Any reason you're driving the Red Bull? Just I like it, to be honest. I think with the camera settings I run, is one of the best looking, if not the best looking car, to be honest. GG, yeah, no, GG, your pace was cooking. Look forward to Suzuka livery. But I have to... Don't I have to do that survival game mode to unlock the livery? Where would you end in F1 Esports right now, you think? Probably last. Like, in the race, I think I would be, like, a bit more competent, but just being honest about it, you know? Like, these guys and the teams are practicing so much that if I just jumped into F1 Esports right now, it'd be tough. You know? I think if I had, like, a month to prepare, then I could be back there. I'll get closer anyway, but if I was literally to jump straight now with no practice properly for WR, would be hard. Appreciate it for the reminder, Ben. Appreciate you. And Rafi. What team do you support? In real life, to be honest, none. I've been really lucky, really fortunate that I had the chance to work in Formula One teams for like 8 years with Mercedes, Ferrari, and Sauber. And since I started working for F1 teams, I just stopped supporting them. You see what I mean? So yeah, I don't really support any team. Before that, used to be McLaren and Mercedes, but my favorite team of all time though is Classic Lotus. Forced jump. What a name. The McLaren left. The other McLaren that we were going to kick, he did leave. So no need to kick him anymore. Any favourite driver? Of all time, Jim Clark. Current grid, Lewis Hamilton. What about you, everyone? What is your favourite driver? Right, Krabs. You're getting demoted down the grid, buddy. You're clearly a bit too quick for the front runners. Stroll. No, the McLaren left already, Luke, so I didn't have to do it. What car are you racing at Silverstone, was it? It's already happened. So it was on November 2nd, I was racing there. Senna, no doubt. Ah, man, that's awesome. Senna is a lad, to be fair. Senna is a goat. Current Verstappen. Max Verstappen. Man, he's insane though, isn't he? Like, he is so good, it's crazy. I like the idea of Madrid, to be honest. I think it gets more hate than it deserves, just because it's a street track. And it was really funny, in my opinion, at least, watching social media. Because social media for years is like, get rid of Catalonia, it's so boring. Get rid of Catalonia, it's so boring. Get rid of it, it's terrible. The second they tried to get rid of it to put Madrid on the circuit, oh, bring back Catalonia. Why are they replacing it with Madrid? Madrid? Madrid. Social media is crazy. Alright, catch you later, Oscar. I'm not too sure when I'll next be live. Maybe tomorrow or the weekend. I think the Madrid track looks cool. It won't be good for overtaking, but what track is these days, you know? No track is good for overtaking these days. Not even Monza. But that's just also a... Ooh, hello. That's also a trait of high-level sports. Like, whenever you get, like, someone doing a high level in sports, whether it's, like, football, rugby, Formula 1, tennis, golf, darts, like, when you get the best in the world at anything together, they are so good that they don't make mistakes, and mistakes is what makes sports exciting, generally. You know what I mean? Like... it's the imperfections that make the moment exciting, you know? Because if everyone's doing everything perfectly, that's what makes it, like, highly skilled, but boring to watch. You know what I mean? Oh, didn't mean to run you off there, crabs. And that's also why the final year of regulation cycles in Formula 1 are generally not the most exciting. Because everyone is so used to their cars, used to their circumstance, used to their packages, and how the car feels, that they don't make as many mistakes. But the first year of a new regulation cycle, ho ho ho! Every race is somewhat, like, good at that point. I might have just snuck DRS. How you doing, Lewis? Welcome in. I had a good day, man. Hope you had a good day. Oh, how has he got even less battery than me? Is Max more talented than Lewis? Honestly, I don't know. Because I think talent is too hard to measure. But I think what Max is better than anyone at, maybe only Schumacher is the same as Max with this, in the modern time of Formula 1 anyway. I think Max's biggest attribute is his ability for people to always give their best around him. There's something very electrifying about Max's personality. That means he always gives his best, and the team always give their best because they know Max is giving his best. Like, regardless of how harsh Max's criticism of the car can be, I think the team always know Max is ragging the wheels off that car. And I think that is Max's biggest attribute. Is the team always know... almost hit him. Always know he's giving his best, so they give their best. There's 0 off days around Max. Whereas, to be honest... well, I say this as a Lewis fan, to be honest. I am. Have been since 2008. I think Lewis's personality is much more... I don't know the right word for it. Gentle? At least how it seems in the public eye. I think Lewis's personality is much more gentle compared to Max's. Whereas Max is just super brutally honest, like really blunt, straight to the point. And in all honesty, I don't think everyone gives their best around Lewis. They try to, but people have more off days. Whereas with Max, everyone's on their A game every single day, you know? Precious Sport? How so? Precious Sport. About the car who spun, or about the Max and Lewis conversation? Okay, I should have been paying more attention here. Of course you can join, man. More than welcome to. Max has got that lion mentality, yeah. Oh, I think, like, Max is a phenomenal driver. And I say this also as a Lewis fan, right? I think Max has every opportunity to be the, statistically, and also in people's minds, the greatest driver ever. I think he does have that capacity to go and do that, you know? Man, you can't just turn in like there's no one there. That was crazy. That was crazy. Yeah, how you doing, Dharma? Hope you're doing good. Will be tough to clear Hamilton, Schumacher. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree, Viva. But I think with Verstappen, he has still so much time that he's already on 4 championships. If he continued for another 10 years, if he want, like, Max could continue for 10 years if he wanted, right? And what is the chances of him obtaining another 4 championships in those 10 years? There's a chance of it, you know. You're okay. My knee decided to hurt for some reason, so not loving life right now. I bet. Well, hopefully your knee feels better soon. Hopefully you're able to put, like, I don't know, ice on it. Maybe that would help. But yeah, either way, hopefully you're able to feel better soon. Yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing good, thank you. But yeah, keep me posted about that, please. Are we going to see your IRL on boards? Probably not. I would love to, but I don't have them. Yeah, I was under the assumption that they would give them to me, but they're not going to, probably. That, when I say them, the team that I race for, then. Yeah, I don't think Max wants to go on for 10 years either, but I think it depends a lot of factors, you know. But also, as a statement, I think it would be very powerful of Max to basically stop at his prime, and then he would really be within the debate of the best drivers, because he would never, you know, have like a bad moment, you know. Right, chat, I have a question for you. So, WR qualifying is starting in like 5 minutes. Let's call it 10 minutes. Like, by the time they have the lobby set up, etc. Do you want to do, or would you prefer to continue doing open lobbies into qualifying and then maybe join them for like the Q2, Q3, or just jump straight to the qualifying? I'm leaning more towards just doing open lobbies for a bit longer. I reckon Max leaves after his contract in 28. I wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But again, I think one thing that's really underrated about the whole Max thing is his legacy. Because if Max stays until 2028 in his Red Bull contract, regardless if he wins another championship or not, he would be one of the few drivers to serve so long and only basically drive for one team. Yes, I know he drove for like Toro Rosso, Sugar Free Red Bull, whatever they're called, back in the day, but still, the point still stands that he basically just drove for one team the whole time, under one management the whole time. You know what I mean? Could be our last day for the reigning champion. Ah. How you doing, man? Yo, how you doing, Seven? Welcome in, bro. Hope you had a good stream. I presume you're playing F1, though. Because you just, like, turn in Matrix. Like, we were going into the corner on the final lap. Bang! And I CBA with that stuff. Up until then was a great battle, but... Why is Oscar doing bad right now? Of course I don't actually have, like, actual reasoning. Because I'm not in the team. But I think it's very difficult for Oscar being in a British team with a British driver who's been there since the resurgence of McLaren. So I think there's no difference in the engineering. I don't think there is no difference in the, you know, favoritism. I think both of them have the equal opportunity. But I think Gabriel Bortoletto said it perfectly. He said, if you have a British guy in a British team who's been there since 2019 and also helped rebuild the team through its tough period, of course the mechanics, of course the marketing team, of course they're all going to be very familiar with Lando, you know? It's just going to be that much easier of a relationship. Whereas Oscar, although he's settled into the team, it's just, he hasn't been there as long, you know? I think that just drags a little bit on the mind. So I don't think that's the whole reason. The whole reason is loads of little stuff combined into one. Okay. But yeah, it's all loads of little stuff combined into one, to be honest. Well. That's just part of like the Red Sea. Oh my god, we bought him out on the curb. But somehow we got away with that. What's that guy doing? Oh wait, did I kick the wrong person, Matrix? Oh, then my apologies, but... I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. If I did, it's my bad. But at the end of the day, it's also not the end of the world. How you doing, buddy? Welcome in. Hope you had a good day. I haven't done too much F2 on this game, so unfortunately I don't know much about them. That was a bit sloppy. Oh my god, he played DRS games. That's TV pod. After the race is done, I'll try to remember to pause it to show you my offset camera settings. Because they've been updated since I made that command. I also need to lock in. Oh, deeper than a deep thing on that corner. Okay, this Red Bull, we need to remember to kick as well. Because he's just not very driving very nice, is he? That was a good battle. Right, those are the settings I use. Yeah, these are the settings I use for my offset. GG, that was great, man. That was great. Cracking. Oh, they're still starting broadcast. Right, we've got another few races to go before we do the watch along. TV pod is that one with the Nightbot. That's just my offset one. Yeah, I can coach someone who's using a controller as well. That's for sure. Alright, catch you later, buddy. Ciao. How you doing, Ethan? It's just on my website in the description of the stream. So then you can find like the coaching packages there. Lando has fixed up now. Since summer break, McLaren not bringing upgrades for a while has allowed Red Bull. Yeah, no, I agree. I think realistically speaking, and this isn't a criticism to Lando or Oscar, because they're in Formula One and I'm not, so I'm not in a position to criticize them. But I think, generally speaking, they both had a little bit messy seasons. And probably if Max was in that car, the championship would not even be in question. But again, I don't mean that as a criticism to either Lando or Oscar, because I'm not in a position to criticize them, you know? I'm just a sim racer on my chair. Yeah, I run 100% in qualifying with the on-throttle differential. Shout out to Russell's season. It's been very impressive. Even more impressive considering his boss tried to hire Verstappen over him. Like, I don't think a lot of people appreciate how tough that situation was for... Gotta get the right person this time. I can't, like, let's say, show enough or speak enough about how tough that is for Russell. In the middle of the season, that his boss was basically trying to hire Verstappen over him. You know? That was really tough. I think Russell dealt with that situation really well. But in all honesty, I think that relationship is quite a little bit soured. If you look between the lines, you can definitely see there's a little bit of sourness there. How you doing, bro? Welcome in. Who are the best team next year, you think? That's a great question. I think best team next year. It's got to be Mercedes, I think. Providing they don't have internal, dramas. And I'm not speaking about the car here, by the way. I'm on about just a 2-driver pairing, like who's got the strongest driver pairing. But I think the strongest driver pairing will be Mercedes. The strongest team, no idea. if I had an idea of that, I would put some money down on them right now. It would make a decent return. Hey, but I can't see who's taking people out. Like, if I don't see them do it, it's hard for me to kick them because then, you know, I'm just relying on other people to say what is okay in the short term. But in the long term, I don't want a situation that basically people get mad that I trust one person to kick another person, but I'm not another person to kick them. You know what I mean? And that's the problem with a lot with the internet. That if I do something for one person, then the internet will hate me for not doing the same thing for the other person, you know? So, unless I see them, I can't do anything about it, you know? I don't think Ferrari might pull a blinder. They might do. But, to be honest, they need to put the handbags away and stop fighting internally, first of all. Once they actually, like, start focusing a little bit and stop having politics, they'll be fantastic. But they're not. Oh my god. Am I staying with Sauber? No, I retired. What the flip was that? He's got defensive. When you're doing two-player? I would like to do two-player with someone. The problem is, though, like, the AI is just so slow. Like, I don't mean it disrespectfully, but... like... it's hard to make the AI exciting these games now. So if I just put the AI on, you know, it's hard, you know. Otherwise, it's just, like, winning... or beating the AI by like 20 seconds every race. Ooh! I have no idea how we ended up still facing a straight line after that. Dive bomb or switchback? Probably a good old dive bomb. How you doing, Matt? Welcome in, bro. Coach, your teammate who plays on controller? You mentioned earlier that you play on controller. I think you're playing yourself into the cards there, my friend. If I read between the lines. What the flip is going on? Well, hopefully destroying the competition. The leaders have checked out in this race, though. I've been having good battles with crabs. What? Sharing is caring. I don't want to overtake him just yet because I want DRS. Bit bomb drafting. My man just teleported. I know, it was crazy. This guy's running like no wing as well. Oh, hit me in the braking zone. That's also a really annoying thing about the physics. Although it's realistic, it also happens in real life, but if someone just, like, in that situation, it looked like I went deep on the brakes and just took him out. But as he hit me in the braking zone, it just ruined the efficiency of the car slowing down. Naturally, as it would if he did have contact in the braking zone. So it made it look very strange. Made it look like I just pushed him off, you know. I haven't tried a set of Corsa Rally. Does look really good though. And this Ferrari is quick. I'm going all in for the DRS set. Oh, this AlphaTauri is an absolute joke. For sure he's going to take out the Ferrari. Well, pulled it, unfortunately. That's a shame. Right, let's get this watch party set up. I wonder where they are in qualifying. That was fun though, I did enjoy that. Apart from that sugar-free Red Bull. Okay. So, I'm going to leave it down to you lot again. Mate, I love your way of saying that, Rafi. That's hilarious. I was thinking the same thing. Right, I'm going to leave it down to you though, everyone. Because I'm impartial on this. There's 3 minutes to go in Q1. Would you prefer to do another race and then join them mid Q2? I'm leaning towards one more race. Yo, Bricks, doing good, thank you, bro. Hope you're doing good as well.
Thank you very much. We're going to send Genty up today. So Genty to go up and get the trophy with you, so well done, mate.
What was the Alpha Taure's name? Rafi. I'm pretty certain you're going to remember it, given how he torpedoed you. Okay. Wait, where is he? Did he just leave? Oh, he got disqualified. I presume he left then. As I've joined. Roger that, bro. How was your dinner though, Nova? Food was good. Let's go. Right. What track should the finale be? Definitely not Miami. Best race game ever? Great question. If we're being serious answers, probably iRacing. In terms of my nostalgia, probably F1 2012. Or F1 2006 Championship Edition on the PS3. That was outstanding. Oh yeah, the Visa Cash App left. Want to join a championship? I'm scared I'll lose, man. I'm scared I'll lose. So respectfully, I'll have to decline. I think... Let's do a bit of... Bit of Spa for the finale. Booked me ticks for work Christmas party. Lovely jubbly. By ticks, do you mean tickets? Or like ticks, as in Twix, the chocolate bar? You tried? I respect the grind, though. I respect the grind. You have some Twix up your sleeve? Haha. You're too lazy to type the whole word? Vibes. Yeah, I was thinking about Monaco. It's just too much chaos, though. I think Spa will be somewhat enjoyable. What country do you really want to visit? To be honest, Brazil. I think Brazil looks beautiful. I think it looks very proud. I think Brazil is very proud of its country, it seems. And I really like to visit places that are proud of themselves, you know, because then they maintain the history, they maintain their culture. And I can't remember ever meeting a Brazilian that is not proud to be Brazilian. Like, you know what I mean? Gmail Reloaded just blinded my poor eyes. Ah, oh, bless you. Where is Spa? There is Spa. First and last laps of the day. Bro's on the grind. Beep beep, I'm here. Oh, they're 3 wide? Yeah, I'm backing out of that. Okay, that kind of screwed me. Oh, how did we save it at the top of the hill? Oh, my word. Not gonna lie, that did catch me out how early the Aston broke. I'm assuming this is all great. Have you been? And if you have, what part? Okay, that was slick. Passing on the grass. 2 down. That's lovely, that is. You brought the track. Might as well use all of it. Lovely jabbly indeed. Oh, I was reading chat. That was very silly. I'm a bit cooked, chat. I don't want to speak too soon, but the wind might still be on here. Well, they're gonna crash, aren't they? That Red Bull just turns in like no one's there. Well then, it'll be interesting to see if he plays DRS games or not. Oh, it's grass on the tyre, man. He's all over the road. Carnage behind. Interesting that he's burning all his battery. And now, we just run away. Doing good, thank you, buddy. Hope you're doing good as well. Lovely jubbly. Well, that's open. Will be concluded for today. That was a bit of fun. Did you enjoy that? I did. I saw you on lap 1, got absolutely destroyed, mate. That was unlucky. How's the day been going? It's been a good day, man. It's been a good day. Every day's been good as well, bro.
Yeah, Thomas has a really good first sector, but his last is really bad. Yeah.
Just setting up the multi-stream at the moment, by the way, chat. So I'm just locking a little bit for that. Make sure I don't miss people.
What's the gap to cut off? Yeah. Might as well retire. One sec.
Julian Klappenborg. They're racing Silverstone. Oh, I think that's everyone. Nice. There we go.
But what about?
Nice. There we go. Got it. We'll take off Bari at the moment because he's not driving. So we'll get rid of Bari. The rest of them are doing qualifying. So end of Q2 here, chat. Let me just put that there. I'm not too sure for poll times, to be honest, bro. I think it's a really stupid question about how many buttons do I need. Not that many. Not that many. It's not like an extraordinary amount. I'm not too sure the exact number, but yeah, it's not like a crazy amount. Your R3 should be good enough for that. How you doing, Henry? 386. I would have done a 385. That's all I'm saying. Right. Bottom of the screen. By the way, Julian has to improve on this lap to go through. So this is a must improve lap for him. Duncan as well. It's always interesting, by the way, to listen to drivers when they're watching other people's. Because, of course, they already know what their own setups are. So they're able to get an exact read on what other people are doing. So 26.7 for Duncan. I need to move that there so I can actually see it. So Julian and Duncan match each other in the first sector. We're going to mute actually, I'm just going to turn my headset down there. So yeah, Duncan doesn't have his delta on. That's because he doesn't actually have a delta to work by. So he must have invalidated or made mistakes on the previous laps. So it'll be interesting to see what he does in the middle sector. At the moment, it's pretty tight. few cars need to be improving. So Duncan 1.4 in the middle sector, so 1 second 4 tenths. That's what Julian does. He goes half a tenth quicker than Duncan. So now it's going to come down to the battery usage. Duncan's pretty low on his battery usage already. So he's probably not going to find a massive amount of time in this final sector. And up and over the curbing. That wasn't ideal on both sides. That's what Julian does. Into the corner. Big wheel flick. A little bit wide of his curbings there. But still was a half decent effort. I think that should be through for Julian. I'll be surprised if it's not. P5, yep. And P10 for Duncan. So Duncan probably... No, actually, he just about got through. Fair play.
Lucky.
Fair play, Dunks. And Daniel Beresny's out. That's a surprise. Same as Jake Denham. Again, the problem is you don't know how much each team has prepared for this race, though. Because normally they're preparing for PSGL more than anything else. And this is not to be disrespectful to WOR, but it's normally just a side thought, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, like, the field isn't as stacked as it normally is, to be honest. So, I'm not surprised it put him through in some ways. Let me just do that. What I change? Bosh, lovely. They restart the qualifying. They do indeed. Yes, they do. Now, final run. Well, final session here. Final run to quali. Yeah, like it is. I always do find it sad when it is going to rain and they restart it and then it doesn't rain. I do have the coaching sessions going on. Yeah. Yeah. Jack West isn't an esports driver. No. I mean, he might be one day, but currently not at the moment.
Man, it's just you know, it's the nerf him off 22, man. Nerf him off 22.
One fault. Yeah, the thing is, like, that's one really impressive, by the way, from the tier 2 poll. But yeah, they still got another session of track, you know, evolution to do here. Thomas was never cheating to start with. I hope it's going to be a wet race. It'll be really interesting to see how the teams and drivers react to it. And it would make it interesting, to be honest.
Probably got in like 10 seconds.
A dry race would just not... Probably wouldn't be bad. It just wouldn't be, like, as dramatic as it could be. You know what I mean? Shana driving? No, he's on Call of Duty.
Oh, Mike, you need to be in this lobby, man. Yeah. 100%. 1000%. Guaranteed front row.
Yeah, I think the thing is, though, with the whole Thomas, like, allegation thing, it was just the perfect storm. Like, Thomas is very naturally fast anyway. And what I mean by perfect storm was everything went against Thomas in the sense. But, like, Thomas is very naturally fast. And debatably, at least in my opinion, his strongest driver attribute is his traction on the exit of the corner. He's very, very good at getting the car straight earlier than basically anyone else, if not the earliest. Like, get the car straight, get it pointed, and he's the best at throttle application, quite possibly. At least some of the stuff I've seen, I think he's the best. And that's what F1 22 was all about, was just how you applied the throttle. So the fact it was his rookie season, and he was already winning races and doing so good, was a red like alarm for most people. But the thing is, because it was at home that season, it was just like doing league racing. If there were LAN events in 2022 and COVID was not a thing, then I think it would have been very different, because when you have your rookie season online, like we did it with like COVID, it's a very different thing to your rookie season at LAN. And probably it wouldn't have been, you know, I'm not disrespecting Thomas, but it wouldn't have been so easy just to rock up and pole position straight away, you know what I mean? So I think it was just a perfect storm of being online, the game suiting him probably the best the game has suited him so far in terms of his driving style. And he just nailed the setup, you know, on the car setups, you know. So that, with the rookie season and being so young, just made him an easy target. And what made him an even more easy target is just the fact that he didn't really, it's hard to say, but didn't really speak out against it, you know. There wasn't really a defense against him, for him on social media. And I say that in support of Thomas, you know. Anyway, 26.8 for sector for Otis Lawrence. Let's see what Ismail Fassi top right does. Oh, he's a little bit faster, is Ismail Fassi. Seems to get the car a bit hooked up in the corner as well. So maybe Otis on lower downforce. That first sector already looked pretty good. Bags and Beckett's throwing the car through. Oh, the car rotated nicely there. Instantly back in the battery. Let's see what he does. A 3-2. So that's a good split as well for Otis there. Let's see. Duncan's about a 10.5 down. Possibly worn tyres though. I'm not too sure. Angelo goes with a 6-2. There we go. And, well, Fassi's basically identical to Otis in the middle sector there. Let's see across the line. Let's see what Otis does. 0.4. So, well, Henry's only half a tenth away at the moment. Let's see. Ismail Fassi seems to be on a good lap here, so let's see what he does. Puts it in. Good first apex. Good second apex. A bit limited on the traction, it seemed, but that might go quickest. Oh, he doesn't by less than half a tenth. Crazy close. Alfie Butcher goes P2 as well.
What did Alfie do?
So F1 cheating in F1 Esports is not a real thing. It can be, because cheating in anything can be a real thing, you know. Whether it's cycling, darts, motocross, chess. Ooh, Thomas with a 3. Crazy. What did you predict again, Henry? 8.6? Oh, he's already gone quicker than that. Unlucky, mate. The thing is that cheating is possible in anything, whether it's performance enhancing like supplements, whether it's physically tampering with the game or physically tampering with other people's equipment. Cheating is possible anywhere. But there hasn't really been cases of it in F1 Esports, I think. Not obvious ones, at least. New prediction 305. Cooking. I still can't believe people... If nobody ever cheated in F1 Esports or on the way, then what the hell happened to Esports in the last few years? What do you mean, what happened to Esports in the last few years? Ciao. Gonna read your book before sleeping. Have a nice rest of your evening. Appreciate you. Have a good rest of your evening as well. And touch wood. I think you said it was the pink boxes you didn't like. So I hope for you not to have the pink boxes tomorrow. Yeah, short quality normally has Q2 grip, if I remember correctly. So this is close. Look at that. Top 4, less than a tenth separating. By the way, as a side note here, if night shift finish it tomorrow, copy that. Look forward to hearing about it. Please shit, yeah. Please shit, yeah. But yeah, I have to say as well, McLaren have really stepped up their game recently. Like, I think maybe they were not pushing that hard at the start of the game cycle. But I have to say, like, in the last probably about a month, they've really improved. It's very impressive to watch, in my opinion. I just finished my drawing of a dog, and I think it turned out amazing. Ah, congrats, mate. Used to have usual F1 Esports season, that's it. Then it got super weird. I'm not going to say everything, because it's not my position to, on that. But I get what you mean. The stuff that happened in F1 Esports has a really rational explanation to it, to be honest. That is relatively quite easy to explain. It's not my position to explain, because I don't want to be disrespectful to F1 Esports and Formula 1, because they gave me so much in my life, you know. It would be really bad of me just to come on my first year out of the championship and, like, do clickbait for them or against them. But yeah, what happened in the last few years has a really reasonable explanation for it, to be honest. And to be honest, we should also just remember that we're lucky to have it in the first place. I mean, let's be really, really honest. Like, imagine saying to someone in 2015, oh yeah, by the way, people are going to get full-time salaries and travel most of Europe, and get sent to GPs with the teams and be in the paddock and have hospitality and earn a very nice living, and compete for hundreds of thousands of pounds in a championship. Wow. What a dream. Would you ever compete again in the future? Probably not in F1 Esports. I think I want to compete in something, but not full time, maybe. I'm a bit burnt out from that, to be honest, because my motivation now is internal rather than external. And the problem is, when you do a championship against other people, although the racing can be internal motivation, a lot of the other stuff, managing the politics, managing, like, the expectation, managing the sponsors, and managing, like, your public image, etc., 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 a lot of that is external, you know. And when you're only motivated internally for your own driving, it doesn't fit that well. You have to manage a lot more other stuff that's quite draining, and if you're out of it mentally in that way, it really can weigh on you. But anyway, into the first sector here, Thomas, Otis, Alfie, Ismail seem to be the people going for pole position here. Otis does a good first sector. Ismail twitching the car around, but that seems to be his normal driving style. Hooks up a nice exit there, actually. This is going to be a quarter of a tenth up. And now also Julian's going to be a little bit up. Remember, Julian's also in RHG like Thomas is, so I presume they are on the same setup, if not close. Okay, Otis is cooking, by the way. He's nearly a tenth up at the moment. If he held the delta, he'll be pretty close to Thomas's time. Of course, Thomas will probably improve as well. So let's see. Ismail Fassi's flying, by the way. Almost a tenth up. Both Otis and Ismail right now would provisionally go to pole position. Otis lost a bit through Mags and Beckett. He's a little bit down behind Thomas, actually. So he has to nail the final sector. Ismail Fassi flying again. Okay, Otis has lost a bit of time. He's going to send it in the final sector here. He's going to try and just get up and over these curbings, flicks it in, going to try and go for the exit speed. He's going to get a good enough exit. It's not going to be enough for pole position, though. But Ismail Fassi, top right-hand side, is going to be really, really on it. Good exit here. That's flying, my guy. That's going to be provisional pole. Surely, 3:09. What a lap. Let's see what Thomas can do. Of course, we're not on board with him because we don't have his onboard. Thomas stays P2. Ismail Fassi. Whoa. Good on him, lad. Good on him.
Just time, no pace. I can't drive this shit track.
Good on him.
So it's embarrassing. Good stuff, Josh.
4,000s off. Yeah, Ismail's very fun to watch. He has a very, like, active driving style. Like, he's always moving the steering wheel. He's always, like, feeling the car. Like, he's always sending it, basically. Unlucky Henry. Getting a Formula Ford in the wet. Oh, yeah. That steering will be turning even down the straight. What's the prize money for winning esports? Last year, as a constructor, you would win 110,000, I think, dollars. But that's not as good as it sounds. And what I mean by that is people, when they hear that a team has won like £110,000, they assume that gets split between the drivers. But what actually happens there, and rightfully so, by the way, because the team need to make money as well. What actually happens is a team will take a percentage, if not all of the percentage, and then the drivers would maybe get 10 or 20% of that prize pool split between them. If you see what I mean. And then the driver prize pool is just kept for the driver, and last year was like 50,000. Right, catch you later, Benjamin. Appreciate you, bro. Why Julian has JRT in his game tag? No idea. Why is it Thomas Ronhard gifts in the chat? Vegas, just send it, my guy. Just send it in. Up and over the curbs. How much would a team and driver take home after taxes? I don't want to say that, to be honest. Like, simply because it would be disrespectful for me. Especially as I'm not an active driver. It would be really disrespectful of me to start telling possibly what people's salary are. Of course, I don't know their exact salary. But if I started to tell on their behalf what I think they're on, in a public eye, in a public view, that's quite bad. I wouldn't want someone doing that against me, you know? No, I'm not going to say percentage either. Again, it's just too much information that doesn't need to be out in the public. Who do you think in the running for this year's title? I think, and it could sway either way. Initially, I think Otis, Alfie, Thomas, Jarno, Freddie, Bari, and Ismail Fassi. Out of those people likely to go for the championship, I think probably between Otis and Yano. The reason I say that is they've just been ahead in the whole league racing stuff. I think if I had to narrow it down to 3 people to go for the championship right now, Otis, Yano, Freddy. Those are my 3 people to go for the championship. But I would say more than likely it's between Otis and Yano. The reason I say between Otis and Yano is this season's going to get a bit scrappy, I reckon. Like, everyone is so close on pace. It's really hard to overtake this year. So there's going to be a few dive bombs. There's going to be a few questionable overtakes and a few dirty overtakes as well. And Freddy is sometimes too clean of a racer for his own good. Like, Freddy often doesn't put the car in a risky situation, doesn't really, like, force people to the grass, or, you know, he doesn't really get his elbows out. And full credit to him because he races really cleanly. But sometimes to win a championship, you have to start racing a bit dirty, in all honesty. And I think Otis and Yano especially will go to that level. And I don't think that's bad, by the way. I'm not calling them dirty. It's just what you got to do to win a championship, you know? You really consider Alfie to be title contender? Oh, yeah. The boy is fast. The boy is very fast. Very composed as well. Especially if his father is there. Like, especially if his father is there at the series, at the championship as well, because his father is very intelligent, very composed, very understanding, and also knows the pressure points to put on the team. And knows how to keep Alfie conducting in a positive way for his own good. So yeah, Alfie for sure can be there. How come Yano's not racing? He's on Call of Duty. Using the rules to the limit, exactly that. Exactly that. Gotta use the rules to the limits, you know? If you don't, you might as well go home. Yeah, for sure. Yano's race pace is better than his quality, but still, Yano's quality pace is better than most people's quality pace, you know? So, it's all about relatives. Right, well, hopefully we're getting closer to the race starting. I think Duncan has Zandvoort on his wall. Okay, yeah, we're getting closer. So we're going to replace Duncan with Bari. Because Bari's going to send on lap 1. He always does, the lad. The mad lad. How you doing, Hector? Brendon, please? Please what? What happened? I think Yano has the best racecraft. Yeah, for sure. I think Otis can be there. I think Otis is learning very quickly. But at the moment, definitely Yano has the best racecraft. What's your favorite food? Probably gingerbread. Here we go then. It is going to be lights out pretty soon. Let's see if it's going to be wet or dry. It's dry. That's boring. Oh, racecraft matters a lot. The harder it is to overtake, the more racecraft matters. Because you're right, there's a certain point that you can't use racecraft because it's just too difficult to overtake, right? But the majority of the time, the person with the best racecraft will just make the best use of the situation. And while other people are being not that creative, the best racecraft person, maybe Yano in this situation, would find a new way to be creative to maximize it. Honestly, no idea who's leading the championship, unfortunately. Yeah, I would say take the differential on 100, Hector, for the on throttle anyway. Thank you. No worries, buddy. Do you think anyone can get to esports level? Yes, but they need to want it bad enough. But that's the same with anything in life. I think anyone can pretty much do anything, but they need to want it bad enough to make it happen. It won't be easy. But if they want it bad enough, then there's a chance, you know? Right, here we go then. This will be interesting. So we've got Otis on the mediums, Thomas on the mediums, Ismail Fassi mediums, Barry on the hards though. Majority of people at the back of the grid on the hards. Majority of the people at the front on mediums. Let's see if we can get these streams lined up a bit better. Let's see, top right. Oh, Julian straight into the back of Alfie. That was messy. And now Barry somehow kept out of carnage here. There's a lot of wheel-to-wheel contact in the mid-pack, though. Barry's stream's kind of gone a bit waffy. But Ismail's away, home and dry. Barry, that's a bit risky, son, but that's going to be a fantastic overtake if he makes it work. Ew, he just gets completely pushed by Jake, but yeah, Barry's not going to back down from that one. Good move. I'll be interested to see if Julian does have damage or not. Probably he does, because that was a big old hit into the back of Alfie Butcher. My prediction for the win. I'm going to say Otis. The thing is now, because Barry's in a train with people like Daniel Berezne, Jake Benham, he's kind of just stuck there. There's no real point for him to, like, unless he can get past Daniel Berezne quite easily, what's quite unlikely to happen, because Danny Bez is at a high level. He's just kind of be stuck there. By the way, interesting to note, though, if you look to the top left-hand side of your screen, Otis is already tire saving. Thomas is already not. Thomas is pushing flat out, basically. Because he's right up behind Ismail Fassi. I didn't realize I had me muted. No real engineer communication going on either. All drivers seem to pretty much know what their plan is. Barry's, I don't know if you guys heard that Barry went, Daniel Palesne, this guy is so slow. That's a typical Barry statement, by the way. He doesn't actually mean it. Just, Barry says anything and everything when driving. Yeah, I think Otis has a lot of, like, tools in his toolbox, right, of driving. One, he's really quick. But I think he's really adaptable as well. Now he's really starting to understand how to drive a race. Maximize tire deg in the right areas, you know, for saving it or not. But to be honest, they're all just managing right now. They're all just chilling. They're all just seeing how the race unfolds. Barry's happy with start. Is there a reason why Red Bull drivers aren't racing today? Yano is playing Call of Duty and don't know what Freddy's up to. Do you think anything in his driving that helps with saving tires? I do. But out of respect for Otis, I'm not going to say. The reason I'm not going to say is because he's told me directly what he does. Like, because I asked him about it one time. So, because he's told me what he does in some of his driving techniques, I'm not going to share it with anyone because that would just be really disrespectful. If he never told me and I was just making assumptions, then I could say. But, you know what I mean? Like, if I put myself in the shoes of Otis, when I was driving at least, and if I told something to someone in confidence and they went on a live stream and just told everyone else, it wouldn't be that nice of a feeling, you know? But would you drive IRL given the chance? Depends. It's not a flat out yes, to be honest. If there was politics involved and a situation that was not enjoyable, then I wouldn't. The reason is, I've already been really lucky in my life to do 8 years being paid to drive. Yes, was on a video game, but still getting 8 years paid to drive. And I'm so bored of the politics. I'm so bored of just, like, dealing with, like, other people's egos and, you know what I mean? So, I'm more than happy just to live my life. If I stop enjoying this, in all honesty, then I just try to enlist in a different career, delete social medias, and bye-bye. But I love what I do with the streaming and content creation, so that won't happen. But if one day I don't enjoy it, then that's what would happen, you know, but yeah. That's why I'm hesitant to do real life, not real life, but that's why I'm hesitant to say yes to your answer, to your question, I should say, because there isn't a defined yes or no. Do you talk a lot with the current drivers? Not really, to be honest. I speak with Lucas Blakely, and Otis. I I would say I'm pretty chill with a lot of the drivers, but I just don't speak to them that often. But yeah, Otis and Lucas is the people I speak to the most.
No, don't do that. That's the stupidest idea of all time.
FIA president. Only if it comes with lunch.
Wait a second.
Now, Otis is starting to push a bit. Like, you can see he's starting to close the gap down. I think there's going to be a bit of a feisty maneuver between Otis and whoever's P2 at the time, whether it's Fassi or Thomas. Because it's an obvious statement, I know, but it's better for Otis' race if he's P2 before the pit stops. And the pit stops are probably not far away now. So, what is Otis checking? Otis is always looking down at his keyboard on the straights. Very interesting. Yeah, Thomas wants to get a move on now. That white livery on the Ferrari does look nice, though. Well, I mean, Fassi still has 100% battery, though. I guess he will try to keep... No, he's not going to try and keep the lead. He's going to let Thomas through. That won't be nice for Otis to see, by the way, that they're working together. You know, just set it on the keyboard and bang, halfway through the race, you're just a second a lap faster suddenly. That'd be the way. If only I had that in my day. Would have been way easier. Jarno isn't racing? No, he's on Call of Duty. Interestingly, Otis has kind of backed off a little bit this lap. Like, he was definitely pushing a lot closer to the back of Thomas. But now he's just like chilling a bit more. We do watch alongs for F1 Esports? Probably yes. If I'm... There's nothing confirmed. I've not had the direct conversations about it. If I'm on the broadcast team, then I won't, because I'll be on the broadcast team. I would be up for doing content with teams as well, or maybe being there live in person. What means I wouldn't do a watch along. I would just vlog it or something. But if I'm at home, then I think I would do a watch along, yeah.
Plan B if both cars boxing front.
Okay, so Otis has just said plan B if both cars box in front. So basically, we're getting into our pit window here. And Otis is starting to get a bit nervy about possibly being caught out by other cars. Everyone's coming into the pit lane, by the way. This is going to be a bit of a scrappy lap here. I think Otis wishes he boxes now. I think he wished that he boxes. I would, in that situation. Probably what's going to happen here is Ismail Fassi and Thomas are going to fight for track position going into the final corners. Otis is in a really difficult position here, though, because Alfie might just undercut Otis anyway.
Same again, guys, if both cars box and this one.
No, I'm not doing a 6 a.m. watch along for Las Vegas. No chance.
One row.
Yeah, Otis is not even in pushing to the back of the cars at the moment. He's using a bit of battery to make sure he's close on the straight, so he opens up any pit strategy, but he's not overly caring about being super close right now in the corners. Right, they both box. Okay, this is interesting now for Otis. Oh! Oh! Ismail sped in the pit lane. What is it with F1 Esports drivers speeding in pit lane this year? It is genuinely like they're doing it every single race. It must be something to do with the dirty air. Like, it has to be something to do with dirty air. Because, like, when you get that close behind a car this year, you just lose so much downforce. So it must be something to do with that.
Them to the box.
Why they save tires? Simply because if you're leading anyway, you don't need to use the extra tires. By the way, now Alfie into P2 provisionally. So if Otis now boxes, he's going to be in a world of pain. He's going to be provisionally like P5, P6. So, but yeah, if you're leading the race, you don't need to use the extra tires anyway. You might as well just save them for later in the stint. So that's why they were tire saving, even if they're just going to box early. Now will be interesting if Otis boxes or not. He's not draining all of his battery. And the problem is, there's a big train of cars anyway. He's going to be at the back of this train of cars. Like, I imagine, yeah, he's going to go an extra lap. Maybe being offline as well. Yes and no, but you're offline with the pit lane entry anyway, you know. Just inherently for how it is, but I think a lot of it is that dirty air. Like, yo, thanks for the raid, man. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome along. Let's see the gap between Otis and Angelo.
How many laps left on this tyre?
Now, of course, you can't hear the engineer of Otis speaking back, but Otis just asked how many laps on this tyre. What he's referring to there, what I imagine he's referring to anyway, is how many laps until he reaches 70% tyre wear. 70% tyre wear is where you start risking a puncture. So he's asking how many laps can he push it. Because he's going to be at the back of this train anyway, to the leaders. Provisionally, he's going to be behind Julian, no matter what he does. So he might as well build up a tyre offset. And by the way, Angelo is also closing in on Otis in these laps. Maybe he's using more battery, who knows. But either way, this is impressive driving from Angelo. Very impressive.
Yep.
Thought it was 75%? Yeah, but you always leave a bit of buffer, you know. I used to always work to 70% anyway. Because then, you know, you just leave a bit of a buffer to play with. Is he boxing? Nope. So again, Angelo's taken another 10th or 2 out of Otis. So again, really impressive laps here from Angelo. Possibly Angelo saved tyres more early in the stint, but that's not detracting from his performance, because his performance is sensational right now. Genuinely fantastic. But this is what I mean, though. Now, if you look at the whole race situation, Thomas is provisionally P1, Alfie is provisionally P2, and Alfie's just going to sit there chilling the whole stint now, because he can just save tyres. And he can make up that tyre deficit by just saving them for the rest of the stint, you know? So Alfie will just chill, save tyres the whole time. Thomas will push relatively hard until everyone else boxes. He's not going to start chilling and saving tyres fully until everyone else boxes, because, you know, you never know where other people can come out. You never know other people's paces. So you won't fully relax until everyone's back behind you. So this is why Thomas is still pushing quite hard. But yeah, long story short of it is going to be hard to overtake. Let's see if Otis boxes his lap. No, he's not. Okay, he's now neutralized that gap to Angelo. So him and Angelo are now doing the same lap times. I mean, the thing is, though, with the puncture situation, it is one of those situations, right? Because if it was never there, would be terrible. Because then everyone would just drive until really high tyre percentage, right? Because there's no risk. But, you know, if it was scripted at a certain percentage, people would abuse that as well. I don't think having 25% of window for a puncture is right. I think maybe the puncture window should maybe be like 80, maybe 85, and there should only be like a 20 or 15% puncture window. But I like the fact that you have a random puncture window. I think that's realistic in some way, but I don't think it should be so big. You know what I mean? Right, let's see. Surely Otis is going to box this lap now. Because the Haas decided to go to the pit lane.
Yep.
Tico Hardy, but he's now 5.4 seconds behind Julian. So, bearing in mind, Otis was a few seconds ahead of Tico anyway. He's probably going to be about 3 seconds behind Julian. Oh, that's late on the brakes. That's very brave. That was a very, very good pit entry by Otis there.
That was freaking close.
Does Angelo continue? Angelo does continue, I think. He does. Very brave. So now, Otis is going to have crazy fresh tyres, by the way. This is always such a good feeling, though, in the race. Like, when you come out of pit lane on a fresh set of tyres, you know everyone ahead of you has older tyres. Oh, it's such a good feeling. Otis is much closer than I anticipated, though. It's only 1.8 seconds behind. And here's also a difficult situation for Thomas Ronha. Because he either now will... There's two situations for Thomas to confront here. If he pushes flat out, it will make it harder for Otis to get through the field because everyone will be slightly more strung out. Everyone will still maintain DRS, but because people are not compact, it's a bit easier for them to manage gaps and defend in that situation. But by doing that, he'll wear out his tyres and basically hand the win to Alfie more or less, because Alfie will just tyre save and overtake on the final lap. Or Thomas starts slowing down, tyre saving, but risking Otis to get to P2. Because if Otis gets to P2 while Thomas is slowing down the pack and tyre saving himself, it's GG's. But it's his only chance to win by slowing down, or his biggest chance to win, I should say, by slowing down and managing the gap. An interesting variable here, though, is also Ismail Fassi. Whether Ismail will just send it and try to win on track anyway. That's interesting. Julian just let through Otis. Yeah, Julian has front wing damage for sure. Okay. Yep, Ismail's getting a bit punchy here.
The guys in front pushing.
Otis asking if the guys in front are pushing. Again, just good info for how worn their tyres may be and how difficult it might be to overtake people. But yeah, they are pushing. Otis is pushing hardest with his freshest tyres, but Thomas, Alfie, and Ismail are all pushing very hard right now. We're going to see a very aggressive Otis Lawrence here, by the way. That's his only chance to win. The thing is,
No, he's not.
he has to get past Caraton, but Josh Idaru is, of course, his teammate, so Josh will let him pass anyway. So realistically, as soon as he gets past Alvaro, he's straight away onto the back of Ismail Fassi. You know, so he's only got to overtake one car properly to get a podium paying position back. Okay, Caraton's low on battery. He's going to let him through. Interesting. This is game on, by the way, for Otis here. This is very much game on. Otis will just let pass by Josh. Josh will spam battery, close up to the cars ahead, wait for Otis to get a bit closer, then just let him past. I won't be surprised if they do it the start of next lap. Maybe even this straight coming up here. Yep, they're going to do it now, I reckon. There you go.
I'll do outside.
Bari in pit lane. I feel really bad for Julian to sat there with front wing damage. By the way, interesting to see here, on a detail, that Bari is one of the only drivers to take a drink of water or whatever he's drinking in the middle of the race. No one else does that. Bari's like one of the only people to do it. What's a really smart thing, by the way, because you are like getting quite hot, bothered, sweaty in the races, especially where he lives in Dubai. What's quite hot, you know, naturally, it's a desert. So it's very smart of Bari to do that. Let's see. This is going to be a very aggressive Otis here. Fassi has enough battery down the straight. Will Otis just send it in? He will. Oh, covers off though smartly by Fassi. Trying to go around the outside. Fassi won't let that happen. He'll squeeze him. The problem is, Fassi has about 50% more battery than Otis does. So Otis probably is best off chilling out for a lap or two. Huge battery saving. And then going at it again. Because the problem is, Fassi just has enough. Oh, that was close. Yeah, he's a very aggressive Otis today. Fassi has enough that you can just defend down the straights. And the problem is, Otis burning battery right now is just useless against Fassi. I predict that Otis will have a go in the loop, turn 4 in the first sector. He'll probably try to go around the outside in turn 3, the first braking zone, and then duck up the inside for the hairpin. I think that's probably what Otis is going to try and do. If that doesn't work out, he'll try and do a switchback. There we go. Battery's activated right now. Going to go down. That's going to be contact. Good to get out of it there. Yep, you can see he was thinking about going up the inside. Really well covered by Fassi. But the problem is, again, he's just too low on the battery. He's going to run out of battery down the straight. He's just not going to be close enough. He'll try to go around the outside, though, I reckon. What could work with the fresher tyres, he's going to get pushed off the track. But he earned that position. That was a great move.
All the time you have to leave the space.
That was a great move. Fair play, lad. That was a... Like, to come from that far back, by the way, yes, he has so much fresher tyres. Whoa. Was impressive. Bari's also going to be the next one on the case, by the way, with his fresh mediums, only a few seconds behind the train. Thomas is still pushing absolutely flat out, though. Same as Alfie.
I will stay for the rest of the race, right?
The interesting thing here as well, from a driver's perspective, also from a team's perspective and a strategy perspective, the harder that Otis pushes Alfie and Thomas, the bigger his advantage gets. Because he's on so much fresher tyres that he probably doesn't actually need to tyre save at all for the rest of the race. He's probably done all that he needs to do by boxing so late for tyre saving. Nil. 0 tyre saving necessary, I should say. But Thomas and Alfie probably still have tyre saving to do. So the harder that Otis pushes them, the less they can tyre save, and the more they hurt their tyres relative to Otis. It's going to be a bit spicy. It's going to be a bit spicy. Bari's almost on the back of Julian, by the way. The problem is, the pace that the front leaders are going at is going to be hard for Bari to have a proper impact in this race. Down the inside, what a move! That's going to be contact, by the way. Switch back on the exit. What a move by Otis. That was top class. He's having fun out there, he is. There's going to be contact in these next corners, because Alfie won't like that, but... Oh, grass on the inside. There we go, there's contact.
What is he doing? Like, he's such a clown.
Alfie won't be happy with that. The problem what happened on... The sad thing is, like, the problem what happened there is Otis went on the grass in Stowe Corner. He touched the inside tyre over the curbing. And that's what made the contact.
5 times. Magus Beckett's.
Let's see what Otis has to say.
Chapel, and then drives into me through Stowe.
Like, I don't know whose fault that is, but I have to look back at it later. But ultimately, that's just a sad end to a really good battle. That was like a phenomenal bit of racing. It's just a very sad end to it, really. Also, a crazy contact model for Alfie to get spat off so far wide. But realistically now, it's Otis's win. Unless they crash with Thomas, what's quite possible, given the fact how hard these two will race, I think. Okay, Julian's just stopped. He's just given up. That's a hard situation, like 19 laps into a race. Wing damage.
Delta to Thomas.
Seguramente. Que le voy a hacer ningún punto, ¿no? Que vale, coña. Qué cositas que hago, Bernardo.
Yeah, well, that's put a bit of a sting on it, hasn't it?
Jarno no corre. Otis es el que va. No sé. No, pues el que va a sumar mucho. Podría romper el DRS también. Voy a intentarlo, de hecho.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of it.
So yeah, I think the next interesting thing, apart from Bari sending it, okay, Julian's out of the race, so we'll switch on to Duncan's POV. That should be interesting. Apart from Bari sending it, it'll be interesting to see, that was a silly warning from Otis as well, if he's going to try and break the DLS of Thomas. Something tells me he will. He'll try to get past Thomas and break the DRS, just for the sake of it. Yeah, Thomas is going to fight this, though. Because Thomas is burning battery.
You know Thomas's battery.
The context is just Otis and Alfie had a bit of a shunt, to be honest. Unfortunately, because it was a good race. By the way, Josh has been dropped from DRS here, so it's literally a top 3 shootout. Bari genuinely could get P3 in this race, considering the penalty of Ismail. I think Julian can be a future champion, but
So hard to follow on this track.
he needs to get his head straight. I think he's not using his full potential at the moment, to be honest, and I say that as a compliment. Probably what's best here is Otis doing a bit of battery saving, building up to 100%, and then he can have a straight shootout with Thomas, but at the moment he just doesn't have enough battery to, like, get up and get clear of him, you know? That's the second warning. And now he's just put himself so much in the pressure, you know? Now he's only got one warning to use. If the engineers of Thomas are smart, I don't know who's engineering Thomas, they would tell him now that Otis has...
physically can't get closer to this.
that Otis has one warning left. Yeah, I feel like Otis just needs to take a step back now. Like, he just needs to take a step back. Also, his engineer needs to tell him to take a step back now. I don't know what the engineer is saying, because of course I can't hear him, but if I was the engineer of Otis, I would say, okay, Otis, it's lap 22 or lap 26. Yeah, now, you can see that now he's starting to battery save, cool down the engine. So probably the engineer had an influence there. So that was really smart of the engineer, if they did. Down the inside of Barty. Good move there. Yeah, Bari's on for P3, I think. Yeah. So now Otis is going to spend lap 22, maybe lap 23, battery saving, bringing down the engine temperature as well. And then he's going to send it on the final few laps. By the way, they're probably going to crash. I'm not going to lie.
How old are they?
Probably Otis and Thomas are going to crash. Just calling it. What means Bari actually might still win this race. Yeah, Thomas isn't streaming. I already have a video on battery. Battery saving. Oh no, I've got a battery generally. Maybe a battery saving one as a general topic. I haven't got that one. I'll look into that. Oh, this is close now from Otis. He has enough battery to deploy down this straight as well. They'll be side by side into the corner. Oh, they're going to shunt. They're going to crash, these two are. Yeah. Bit of wheel-to-wheel contact. He'll leave it down the inside. Go deep. Thomas will try to do switchbacks here. Bit of contact in the middle of the apex. Good move from Otis there.
Sit.
This will be interesting. Thomas will just send it properly. Down the inside from Thomas, maybe? No, he doesn't go for it. Maybe he feels like he still has a chance to get him back, like, in a normal move. Thomas down the inside. Here we go. Now is the contact going to happen?
Serious.
He's still leading, by the way. Yeah, Barrio can still win this race. Thomas and Otis are going to end up in the gravel, by the way. If I was Ismail Fassi, and Fassi has done the right thing, he's just let them back through. I think Thomas has wing damage. Thomas for sure has wing damage. So when I don't think Thomas will straight line him, but I don't think Thomas will get close enough again if he does have that front wing damage. Nah, he's not going to get close enough. It's GG. It's done.
There's no way you didn't get damage from that.
I'm just going to say, the radio of Otis at the end of this race is going to be quite entertaining. And not for the right reasons. And we've got Ismail Fassi just chilling, speaking Spanish. I would love to know what he's saying. Top right of the screen, by the way. Bari's going to send it again. Go for the switchback. Go down the inside. Oh, what a move from Bari. Woo! What a move, Sunshine.
I just updated me and you were like, just so I know.
Good from Bari, man. Oh, someone's lagging up ahead. Josh is. Yeah, Thomas is going to get dropped from DRS here.
Thomas battery?
I'm surprised that they have Thomas battery here. Because Otis has asked for that twice now. Indicates they do have the battery percentage. Well, I don't know where they're getting it from. Because Thomas isn't streaming, from what I know. There's a Spy 4. Yeah, look. Otis is burning all battery trying to get Thomas out of DRS here. Bari's under attack from Danny here. Danny down the inside. There's going to be contact here with Danny and Bari as well. Bit of contact, but good move from Danny, actually. Yeah, Thomas will have his engineer on as well, for sure. Yep, Thomas is out of DRS now. That's a shame. That's not a nice way to end the race, honestly. could see it coming a mile off, but
It's so laggy, it's crazy.
What about yours? Is cars like really shit?
yeah, when you use a custom livery, the delta does disappear in time trial. So it seems Daniel Perezne is going to get the P3 in the end. Of course, for when the penalty of Vismao is applied. Thomas still has really good pace, though, considering he's missing half a car.
Seb is definitely not good in clean air, but really good for overtaking.
My prediction was right. What prediction? That they're going to crash. I wonder what's already in the WR chat. I'm not going to leak the WR chat, but I can't imagine they're too happy. Right. I'm just going to prepare you lot, by the way. Like I say, Otis's radio after the start-finish line is going to be entertaining, but for all the wrong reasons. So just prepare yourself for that. Because it's going to be cinema. Just saying. Just saying.
Yep. Good strategy, thank you. Good stuff.
Oh, it was actually very calm. Hang on a minute.
Good chip.
Okay, I was completely wrong. He didn't say anything.
I think we nailed this route on everybody. Good stuff.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Hostia, che sei terminato, ma por culo, tu.
He is getting more mature. Fair play.
Mm.
Man, everybody crashed. Like Jake, Duncan, they just crashed in front of Danny. Yeah,
Vaya
thanks,
tirada de
guys.
carrera.
It was a good race. I really enjoyed
And I
it.
was on 2 warnings behind because every time into the cops it was just loads of front wash.
I mean, overtaking here
Yeah.
is just so hard.
Thank you.
It's nearly impossible.
Well, that was interesting, chat. Let's go find someone to raid.
Yeah, I think it.
I look so
think
tiny if I'm
Danny
not set
was a
up.
little bit lucky for sure
I still look tiny anyway.
with the people crashing. Yeah,
Yeah, I'll peanut very quick with Otis.
yeah. I can.
Very quick. Do.
No, he's not. And the Alpine doesn't go through wide. He goes side by side with the McLaren through this twisty section. And there was contact for sure. DK.
Let's go raid STB League. If anyone's seen their TikToks, you know it's legendary. So everyone, while that's loading on Twitch, I'm going to end the stream on YouTube. Thank you everyone for watching. Really appreciate you all. I might be live tomorrow. I'm not too sure, but I'm doing a 23-hour race over the weekend on iRacing at Zolder, GB Broadbent race. So I do plan to stream that, but I've had a lot of PC issues in the last few days. So if I don't, bear with me. But I do plan to stream it. I'll be doing it with Lucas Blakely as well. So yeah, should be cracking. If I do, it'll be live at like 2-3 p.m. on Saturday. And it'll be a 23-hour race split between 2 people. So holy moly. Should be cracking. Should be a good one. But anyway, I'm going to end the YouTube stream while that Twitch one is loading. And thank you everyone for watching. And I'll catch you next time. How is it visible in all your tutorials? I'm not too sure actually. That's a really good question. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But anyway, catch you a lot later. Ciao, and appreciate you all. Bye bye, YouTube, and thank you very much.